Hello YouTube, Ronin Kaze, Star Wars, The Old Republic, SWTOR. I'm on Hoth, but I'd like to talk to you about wealth. Recently, in the direction of doing my work duties, Roxy barked, YouTube. Recently, while getting en route, driving to one of my places I have to go for my job, I started listening to a YouTube show, thing, whatever it is. And normally, when I'm listening to YouTube stuff, if it's really bad, I immediately change it because I don't want to listen to really bad YouTube stuff. It's annoying to me. It really is. So I normally turn that off immediately. How's that, YouTube? But unfortunately, YouTube, Ronin Kaze took a left. Sometimes when you take a left and your phone's not in the right position, YouTube, the phone goes and goes into the right door well. Even the door's closed, I cannot access the phone. So then I'm forced to listen to their YouTube schlop. And this particular YouTube video was describing bad habits you might have that are preventing you from being wealthy, YouTube. Now, I immediately took umbrage with the fact that it's not really good definition of history, and it doesn't explain. It was from the perspective, it was a sales job. So it was explaining to you that you've been creating all this wealth and someone just takes it away from you. It's not how history worked. It's not how anything, doesn't explain about hunter and gathering, doesn't explain anything about civilizations as much as we know. Meanwhile, I'm on Hoth. Hoth was that planet when Hans and Luke were on there where he cut open the tauntaun or whatever it was and then had to be in it to stay warm or something. And obviously I have my Varactyl that is probably not native to Hoth, so I'm sure it's cold. It being a reptile, it's probably cold-blooded, so this is probably fake. This is why it's sci-fi. Anyways, I'm going in to talk to one of my buddies here. Normally, before we get into this, like, subscribe, share, unsubscribe, resubscribe, hit the notifications. I'd appreciate it. It helps the channel. Thanks, YouTube. Getting back to wealth creation. Well, this whole YouTube, which I was forced to listen to because my phone was ejected because I made a left turn. This whole thing was about how to make wealth instead of being on the hamster wheel. And so a lot of the statements they said are just absolutely false to get to their premise about how wealth was made and everything else. And why you can or can't make money at your job. Because if you subscribe to the rat race, YouTube. Let's just clear all of that up. Number one. People were not probably hunter and gathering. Think about in the Middle Ages. They weren't hunter and gathering. They weren't farming in the Middle Ages because they had developed a collective and they were taking their profits of their food. They worked in Western Europe. We're also talking about Western European history. Not going to get into everyone else's history because we're in a Western European society. The good, bad, and difference of our society is fostered by our history. So I'm going to go to that history. The majority of the history of the United States is traced through Western European history, whether we like it or not. It doesn't mean that's the history of people, but if you're making wealth in the United States, that's a framework that we're doing this in. So in the medieval ages, you were serfs bound to the land to some lord, and you made the crops that that guy wanted. And you gave him the shares, he would get the abundance, and he'd do whatever, pay for his soldiers or whatever. You didn't make and grow things and then sell them. That's not how it worked. So there wasn't a point where the man was taking your stuff. They already took your stuff. So that's number one. when you start thinking about when did people start getting individual wealth, is when their guilds came up and the towns that grew around this kingdom, these people that provide services to the king, started making money, formed guilds, shoe cobblers, tailors, whatever. And as they start gaining wealth, they go up into a class and they're going to take advantage of the people that are poorer than them and all that other kind of stuff. And the rat race for the people that are on the bottom is you're just subsistence. So if you could get a skill, that's why maybe you'd have your kid be a, would intern, it's not the right word. You become an apprentice to the shoe cobbler. It's free labor for the shoe cobbler, but you're learning a trade. The idea is eventually you get higher. Maybe you go to Newtown, you're the new shoemaker, etc. That's how people made wealth, because you generated something and you were in a system. You weren't farming though. That's not what's happening. It's kind of number one with this kind of video that I had to suffer and listen to YouTube. Number two, the really only way to make a lot of money is to have a special skill. Maybe you have a physical talent that, let's think about singers, how they make a lot of money. Back in the day, before recordings, maybe before radio, you might go around, you might have been a minstrel in this medieval time with +2 to charisma, YouTube. You might have gone around and toured, and that's how you might have gotten food, but you're starting to see that you're abstracted from your labor, right? Normally what happens with people is you're working now, and as we've abstracted that away from farming, where you produce food for yourself, you're doing a good or a service, and you're trading it for some type of food, protection, or lodging, right? So as we abstract the means of what we do, this sounds very Communist Manifesto, but this is not Communist Manifesto. This is just as people start getting paid money, a currency for their work, versus I'm getting 6 carrots because I tilled the field today. That's when we abstract away from that I'm doing something that directly provides food for me on my table. So you start doing things that become more valuable, and you get paid to do that. So we have enough extra food that we can now pay to have someone come and sing songs on Friday night or teach us whatever. Fast forward to today, because we have an infrastructure of radio, people that can make CDs where we can press the records onto a record, that we can make a CD, that we can stream it. An artist, someone that makes music, has a chance to make more money than their daily farming would do it. So you can make something, think about a video that goes viral that millions of people see, is different. That's the way how you generate this, not rat race wealth, is because you have a talent that someone else saw. Multiple people see it because we've created a system that you can take advantage of to do this. Like one of my videos that almost got over 11,000 people YouTube. Woo! Not millions, so. Did I mention the subscribe rate? I think I did. Anyways, YouTube. And then to change it from making money to wealth, the fact that you change the semantical name of it. Why do philosophers talk about semantics and that kind of stuff so much? Is basically, that's the argument that they're trying to get over. They're trying to really deal with the fact that semantically, wealth and making money are the same, but because you're trying to sell me something, you're not going to talk at making money, because that might seem mundane and crass, like just average. So what does this all mean? Besides the fact that I was tortured by this video, YouTube, and now I'm torturing you with an abstract of it. There's a certain amount of things that you have to do in everything in life. Everything isn't dessert. YouTube. We tried to teach you this lesson when you were little, YouTube, and you didn't want to take it, but not everything's just a sweet, juicy shorts. Sometimes you have to listen to other stuff, YouTube. But as you grow up, YouTube, what you realize is I have to do some things that pay the bills. And there is no get quick rich scheme, because that's like that was a meme before memes, YouTube. So where does that leave us? Well, let's talk about college. If you have a degree, this is Ronin Kaze's opinion now. If you have a degree that's not in a field that you are interested, that you're interested in, not where you can make money, that you're interested in, I'd say 9 times out of 10 that degree is going to leave you high and dry, because that degree, the intention of that degree is to make money, and that's not how you make money. You make money by making money. If you want to make money, the number one thing to make money in this world is to sell. And to sell is you have to look someone in the eye and ask them for money. So I won't do that yet. Why don't I ask you to go on a Patreon thing? Because I don't think I'm going to provide you the value that you need, that you would want, that I could sustain that. I'm not afraid to ask you for the money. I'm not afraid to ask you for the likes. That would get me money. That's an abstract way for you to give me money, is by you to share it. Share the content with people. It would help the channel grow. So if you want to make money, you just need to learn how to sell. Basically, learning how to sell, which I've said many times, is you're talking to people and you're listening and you're winning their trust, and you're not selling them anything. You're just talking to them and saying, have you ever considered this? I sell you on ideas all the time. That's what I'm doing. Some ideas you don't agree with, some you might think about. Some of you keep coming back to the channel because I talk about interesting things. Hopefully new people watch some of the videos and it sparks something in them. But to talk to other people means that then you have to listen. And so you have to engage people and look them in the eyes, YouTube. Not look at your shoes and talk. You got to look them in the eyes. And all of those kind of things are a skill. The selling is not a gift. Selling is a skill that you can cultivate. And if you can sell things, you'll make money, because someone has a product they want to sell. And so they might make the product for 40 cents and sell it for $4. If you're the person that's making the product for 40 cents, if you want to get paid, right? So if it takes 20 cents of your salary to make it, if you want to make 20 bucks an hour, you got to make what, 100, 1,000 of those an hour to get your 20 bucks an hour. I mean, that's the math of everything. So obviously, if money was your only thing you were going for in life, you'd go into sales. But that's not what life is ultimately about. You want to have enough money so that you can have a home, that you can have food on the table, that you can take care of kids, and maybe give your children, your offspring, a better life. But a better life isn't necessarily, what's better? A family that makes $40,000 a year and one parent stays home with the children, so that the children, every time they're home, a parent's there, or family that makes $80,000, has 2 parents out and the kids go to daycare and the kids are latchkey kids. I'll let you determine whatever it is, and you're gonna do that. Whatever. Why do I use 40,000 and 80,000? Because what I found, and I could probably try to find someone to back that up, but around 80,000, you stop thinking. If you have 2 people making 40 grand a year, you stop worrying about money, because you have enough money to pay. If you're reasonable, YouTube, you're making enough money to put away some money for savings, to have good food, clothes, etc. There's 2,080 hours in a year. That's how many, a 40-hour work week. There's 50 weeks. 40 times 52 is 2,080. Let's just call it straight 2,000. If you make $20 an hour and you work 2,000 hours, you're going to make $40,000. So that's the thing you're shooting for, to have a decent, sustainable life. If you can make 40 grand a year, a single person can live a decent life anywhere other than a big city, metropolis kind of thing. And that's you just doing a little bit more, but you have to do a little bit more to make $20 an hour, or you might get it after you do it a while. Conversely, if there's 2 of you that can team up, then you'd be making the magical 80. But then you might buy a house and you're worried about how you're splitting the house and whatever. But the point is, there's no one stealing your stuff from you. It's a lot of it is what you have to do, and a lot of that is you control that. This may be controversial, and I don't mean it to be, but just like gaming, whether my character makes level 80 or not is up to who, YouTube? Ronin Kaze? Whether my character is level 70 in Diablo 4 and it's not level 100, who is that on, YouTube? And. So we control these things. That's the start of this. I'm going to talk more about this kind of wealth building thing because I think you get sold a bill of goods. So hopefully you're not buying into one of those things. If you are, I got more stuff for you, YouTube. This is Ronin Kaze doing the Jedi. This is not the video that you want to not watch. This is the video that you want to subscribe to. Thank you, YouTube. Bye.